Subway NFL postgame show, and the race for the #1 seed in the NFC is on. Philly into Dallas and leaves with a 10-6 victory. Tony Romo, horrible day. 3 picks, 13 of 36, and the Eagles, mathematically, still alive for the postseason. Hey, how are you, folks? Jason Horowitz alongside NFL.com's Pat Kirwan and CBS Sports' Charley Casserly. And we'll get to the big picture postseason-wise in just a sec, but Charlie, when you look at this game, offensively for Dallas in a season when they've done so much and off a game in which Tony Romo developed his legendary status coming back against Detroit and winning with 18 seconds, what happened today?
Well, I think to me, these guys, the Cowboys, have been living on the edge. They've had a few too many games like this to be a team that is the number one seed. I'm sure I think they're going to be the number 2 seed before this is all over. But to me, here's what happens. They always start off slow, make some adjustments, evidently, and then come on. Tony Romo, inaccurate today. Never got into a rhythm. When you don't get into a rhythm, you got to go back to something. That's normally the running game. For a game that's 10-6, you need to run the ball more than 15 times, especially in the fourth quarter when it's 10-6. You're around midfield. You got to run the ball and get a rhythm going and then build your passing game off of it. The other thing is somewhere in there's a receiver that's a security blanket. Normally, it's Witten. It's impossible to watch television and know what Philadelphia did, but clearly they must have kept Romo off balance and Dallas off balance on offense because they could not get one receiver to get a rhythm going.
You know, and talk about rhythm, they're going to have another problem now. They lost 4 players today to some form of an injury. We've got Garrard, Canty, Pat Watkins, Fasano, all got hurt today. And so that's going to complicate things. And I'm not so sure that Tony Romo wasn't hurt. When you watch it now, I looked at how many. I was trying to keep a tab on how many times he was going to his man Tio, and I counted 12 times he threw the ball to him with only 2 receptions. So there was no rhythm, to Charlie's point, no rhythm there. And get this, Jason, in the first 27 minutes of the game, one guy had any receptions on the Dallas Cowboys, Witten. So the whole offense is out of sync right now.
And you saw there what he did last time against Philadelphia, 20 of 25 and 3 touchdowns, and Tio had a big day. You're right, Charlie. There is no way to see, just from television perspective, what Philadelphia did defensively to shut them down, or if it was just Romo with the thumb problem and being inaccurate. But when you look at Philadelphia, mathematically they are still alive for the postseason. I know they're 6-8. I know New Orleans is sitting at 7-7, and depending on what Minnesota does on Monday night, obviously that's still up in the air. But if they can, they do play New Orleans next week. If they can beat New Orleans on the road, they already beat Minnesota this season. If they get into a 3-way tie with those 2 teams and those scenarios play out, Philadelphia would be ahead of both of those because they beat both of those teams head-to-head. Having said that, this is still a team that cannot score in the red zone. Charlie, again, same problems today as all season.
Yeah, again, I think the positives today, Donovan McNabb showed movement in the pocket, maybe the best movement of his era. Avoided rushers, made plays running the football. But when you come down to it, they've got Westbrook as an all-purpose guy, 144 yards total offense. I mean, this guy, you've got some great runners in the league, but I don't know if you have a more valuable player to his team than Brian Westbrook. Now, the problem is they can't score points for 2 reasons. They can't make big plays. They threw the ball twice downfield today. Donovan McNabb was inaccurate. They absolutely have no run after the catch with their wide receivers, and the tight end has been a non-existent position for them. When they get in the red zone, they can't score. It's anyone's guess, but perhaps maybe they're too predictable down there. Perhaps people have caught on to them. They've got to find a way to score in the red zone. Their defense, though, hey, give them a lot of credit. Another good performance.
Certainly, in those 3 turnovers of Tony Romo. And L.J. Smith, the tight end, was supposed to be that second guy this year, injured most of the season. Selleck today, a couple of big catches, the rookie.
Yeah, but it's the West Coast stuff, and it's always going to be about the tight end, the shallow cross. Charlie's point that no big plays downfield. I stopped counting it, but I'll make my point off the first half. 3 sacks and 7 hits, direct hits on the quarterback. So this question's about Philadelphia's pass protection, too. And as Charlie pointed out, McNabb is running around, but he's running for his life because they're in there.
And, Charlie, the other point to this, Philly offense against Dallas defense, there was one play here, and you used to be on the rules committee. Roy Williams, another horse collar in this game. The rule was really made for Roy Williams because the guy was made famous for it. What do you think happens this week? Because that'll be a topic this week.
Well, my recollection, and I could be wrong with this, but the last time Roy Williams got fined in a horse collar, I thought it was, hey, next time you're going to sit a game. Maybe you're going to sit 2. I have no idea. But to me, it's about time he sits because this is too many hits over too many years. There's no question they're deliberate. It's an easy call to make. You got to sit the guy down at some point for multiple penalties that eventually could cause injuries and have caused some injuries.
And of course, let's not forget, Dallas is playing for the number 1 seed. They are tied with Green Bay for the same overall record. They did beat Green Bay. But if they lose one of the last 2 and Green Bay wins out, you got the Packers as the number 1 seed. And here's what you're looking at. Dallas has 2 on the road, at Carolina, at Washington. Green Bay plays at Chicago, and then home versus Detroit. So all those games are going to matter. Who's your number 1 seed when this is all done?
The Green Bay Packers.
Green Bay Packers.
All right, so there you have it.
Who's your number 1 seed?
That would be the Dallas Cowboys.
I just don't think Carolina is that good, and when it comes down to it, the last game, if Dallas has
At
to win
least
at
you don't
Washington,
say it's Detroit anymore. We got you out of that.
I'll go with the Green Bay Packers. We'll make it unanimous.
Yeah,
Folks, for more on this game or any other in Week 15, be sure to stay with CBSSports.com. Watch everything else on the CBS Audience Network. No, I'm going to go with the Packers. Let's be honest. Week 17 against Detroit, it's going to be a 30-point win. We'll see you next week, folks. Take care.